Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It's the Fruit Nut News on, of course, what day are we today? What day are we today? Friday the 6th today. Friday the 6th, ladies and gentlemen. We also need to keep that in mind. So, hope you're all okay, etc., etc. We've got absolutely massive change of weather. It's absolutely chucking it down, man. It's... even the rats are struggling at the moment, so very interesting. So, quick hello to everybody. It's John O'Brien's in, Dave Hunter's joining us, Kate H is in, Ellen Dean, Shepherd's in, Sheila Douglas, Dinah Wilson, Sharon Young, Jan Lacey's joining us today. Sharon's in, Graham's in, Chris Taylor's in, Michelle Bennett's in. We've also got Angie in, Christine M's in. We've got Jen's in, Mark's in, New Life in, Lisa McCulloch, Brian Wright's in, Brenda Corcoran, Bill Geo, John Geist. Gary's in, Ciara's in, Kira, it's Kira, daft get. Kem Jin Tully's in. How you doing, Ken Jim? Sue Allen's in. Jan H is in. Anne's in. Vanessa's in. Jackie's in. Sue Nora's in. Mary's in. Lisa Steele's in. Joanna Unwin's in. Strong-Willed Angels is in. Jill's in. And Angela Davis. So, good morning, everyone. We have, of course, today is, of course, the day. It is, of course, the 6th today of the 3rd, 2026. Well, everything seems to be hotting up. Let's just quickly run over some international bullshit before we actually move forward. So, let's have a look here what we got. Now, some people say that I am actually looking like Kingsman, but anyway, well, that's another story. Now, a Labour MP, Scottish Labour MP Jenny Reid, and her husband, who is a guy called David Taylor, David has just been arrested for spying for China. Brilliant. There you go. Oh, they're up to the neck in it. Meanwhile, apparently, 4 Jewish men have been arrested on anti-terrorism charges. 4 Iranian men. What's going on here? So, 4 Iranian men have been arrested on terrorism charges in relation to Jewish people. So, of course, we've got the old Jewish rhetoric, let's be kind to Israel shit, all that bollocks. So what else have we got? Now, going back to the MPs, of course, we've got the pay rise. Now, while you lot are struggling, while the cost of living is going up, while everything is just absolute costing a fortune. I bought some butter last night. It was £2.85. £2.85. What's going on? Now, MP's pay rise is going to go up by £5,000. I think it's just under £100,000 now. I think it's about 98,999 pence. They just may as well stick it up to 100 and be fucking done with it. Meanwhile, Rachel Reeves has told every British person should be able to afford a holiday. Yes, Rachel. Ironically, though, Rachel, you absolute doyle, you've basically put a holiday tax on, caravan companies, theme parks, etc., 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 and it's known as the holiday tax. So, really, you haven't really made it very nice for people to be able to afford a holiday, have you? Not only that, we've got, what have we got as well? Oh, we've got the bullshit, clean air zones, what else do they call it? The bullshit zone, you have to pay to go into a bullshit zone. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely unbelievable. Now, meanwhile, of course, this is also linked to China as well. A border force officer and an ex-Royal Marine have been used for shadow policing by China. Both of them have been arrested, and what they were doing, they were in the UK, they were looking out for pro-democracy protesters. Very interesting. Well, there you go. Now, Rachel also wants everybody to know that most households will be better off by £40 next year. £40, £40 a day, £40 a week. No, £40 a month. No, £40 a year. That works out to round about, I think it's somewhere in the region of £70 pence a week. Oh, Rachel, thick as mince. Absolutely thick as mince. Now, Labour have done another U-turn on one of their controversial projects. This, of course, is the Islamophobia rule, where they all got excited about, far right and all this kind of thing. And they decided that they were going to have a rule over being Islamophobic. So that was anybody that criticised Islam, anybody criticised the Jewish, the Israel was classed as Islamophobic, or should we say anti-Semitic, as it's commonly known. Now they realise that this is a bit of a problem for free speech, and so of course they've had to do a U-turn and back down on it. Very interesting. Now, isn't it interesting that Keir Starmer appears to be kept in the dark about intelligence and war situations? Very interesting. So obviously Donald Trump has realised that, of course, Britain is not a very good ally. Okay, and what he actually means is, okay, he's publicly told everybody, okay, including the German Prime Minister. So what Trump is doing here, he's telling everybody that the global rule of the British colonial idiots is over. This, of course, also includes the UK and, of course, Israel. Okay, and I mean, when you look at it, the UK, the way that the UK have been conducting themselves over the last, well, fucking 100 years or whatever. Let's just say over the last few months. It's clear that the UK is a total mess. Excuse me. It's a total mess, and it's just being run by very incompetent idiots that don't seem to know what they're doing. And in actual fact, and I'm not, I'm not being funny in any way, shape, or form. I actually think that I could run the country a lot better, providing we had free reign, of course. I think that I could run the country better than this shower of shit that we've got in at the moment. I mean, the political system completely crashing. It's corrupt from top to bottom. I don't care who it is. I mean, when we talk about the rape gang inquiry, okay, and the government want to cover up this rape gang thing. They just want to cover it up, and the reason that they want to cover it up, of course, is because the police, social services, judges, councils, councillors, they're all in on it. They're all in on it. They're absolutely all in on it. And of course, the other thing as well is, of course, it's the vote. It's the vote. So it's clear that the rape gang inquiry needs to be covered up. I mean, did you know that the majority of the MPs sitting in Parliament voted against funding for the rape gang inquiry? And here's another interesting one that you probably don't know. One of the reasons that they call it an inquiry is because what happens is that during an inquiry, nobody can be held accountable for any of the lies that they tell you. So during an inquiry, okay, people cannot be held responsible for the lies that they tell you. And that's why they get away with it by calling it an inquiry. Now, and this is a law, by the way, this is a law. Now, when you have a criminal investigation, that is completely different to an inquiry. A criminal investigation basically is people are held accountable. And this is why when we look at the post office inquiry, we look at the Grenfell inquiry, we look at the 9/11 inquiry, right? We look at the inquiry into the Iraq war, weapons of mass destruction. This is why these people get away with it, because they can lie and they are not held accountable, even though it's proven that they lied. It's absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, anybody notice the dancing MPs? Oh my God. So we've had dancing doctors and dancing nurses and dancing firefighters. We've even had dancing police. Now we fucking got dancing MPs. So here we had Lindsay Hoyle. I mean, Angela Rippon, 81 years old. And then, of course, we had the fucking plumber from Pimlico, Hannah from Denton, the plumber that's just become an MP for the Green Party. Now, bear in mind, of course, ladies and gentlemen, that the country is falling to bits. Crime is on the increase. All kinds of shit is happening all across the country. Then when we start to think about the world, people are being bombed and killed and murdered all across the world. And these Muppets are doing a dance and thinking that it's okay. Now, the other take on this is, right, and this is what I think it is. I mean, particularly Lindsay Hoyle. Now, Lindsay Hoyle doesn't look like a man to me that would want to take part in a dance-off, let's say. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? He's one of those arrogant, MP types, So, do you know what I think? I think this was a humiliation ritual. This is what I think it was. Not only for, of course, the TV, but also for the politicians. I mean, this guy, Lindsay Hoyle, is probably the most influential character in Britain, like from an important point of view. I would say he is, from a British colonial situation, I would say that he's probably second down to the king, and probably even more important than the Prime Minister. Very interesting. That's old British colonial rule. You know what I mean? So, I just think that was a ritual. Now, watch what's going to happen with Iran. Now, of course, the UK will use Iran, as an excuse to increase fuel, energy, and food prices. You watch it. Now, meanwhile, of course, HMS Dragon won't be available for service in Cyprus until sometime next week. It's about 7 days, apparently. So, really, really interesting that. We've even got Greece. Greece and France are now protecting Cyprus because of course, Keir Starmer's got no fucking idea what he's doing. I mean, I don't even think the British know what they're doing. Just interesting. And then, of course, we've got this woman called Kristi Noemi. Now, the BBC are reporting that Kristi was sacked due to the fact that she made some controversial comments in regards to the ICE shootings. Right? Now, actually, that's not true. So let me tell you what Kristi Noemi was sacked for. Kristi Noemi was caught giving a contract. The contract was £140 million of taxpayers' money. She gave and signed off a contract for a company that had never done any work before from a governmental point of view, wasn't a registered governmental company, and yet she gave $140 million to this company. Now, when Donald Trump found out, this woman was gone faster than you can shove a bog brush up your arse. Now, of course, the cabal or the deep state are claiming that she was sacked because of comments she made about ICE, trying obviously to keep ICE relevant, etc., and that ICE are doing the wrong thing, which is really very interesting. So that was why Kristi Noemi was basically sacked. So now you know. Now, Candice, now, if you've been doing research and you know what you're talking about, you'll know that Israel have been part of all kinds of different things that have happened in the past. One of them, of course, was JFK, the assassination of JFK, the 9/11, 7/11, Princess Diana, the setting up of Michael Jackson, etc., etc., etc. So many things are linked, of course. Sorry, I just got to clean my glasses. So many things, of course, are linked to, oh, God, what it is, get in front of this camera and bloody start yawning. So many things are linked to Israel. And, of course, that is why, we have this anti-Semitic rhetoric. Anybody that calls out Israel is deemed to be anti-Semitic and an enemy of Israel. Now, Candace Owens has come out now and dropped the bombshell on Israel, claiming that Israel organised 9/11. I'm not sure whether she mentioned JFK, I'm not sure, but and she also mentions the UK as well. Now we know that Israel we know that Israel are heavily involved with Mossad. Okay, Mossad is the Israeli intelligence. They're linked to the Five Eyes. The Five Eyes, of course, are the countries that look after and monitor everything. That, of course, is linked to the CIA, the FBI, the MI5, the MI6, Porton Down. It's all a massive, massive organisation that people think that they're all operating separately, and they are to a certain extent, but the end goal is to move forward, of course, with what used to be known as the New World Order, but has been changed to it's not going to fucking happen. All right. So that's quite an interesting one. So it's all sort of it's all sort of rolling on. Now, this is something that's not being reported. Now, when we think about Iran, we think about all the bombings. Have you noticed that the bombings are very targeted, right? So I was looking at this from 40,000 feet last night, probably while I was fucking astral traveling or doing some shit. And I was thinking about all of the countries that Iran have basically targeted, okay? And I was also thinking about the places that they've targeted as well. So they haven't done what we would call like a blanket bombing on Tehran. Okay, and I mean, even this is reported on the BBC. So rather than doing a blanket bombing, which you would expect, okay, they've done a targeted approach. So the question is, why would Iran do a targeted approach? Why would they target different countries? Why would they target different buildings? Why would they target, hotels and banks and, like normal places? Now, some might argue, of course, that they've done that because, it's like a convenient thing, but I don't think it is. I think the Iranians, so the good Iranians, remember that we've got good and bad people in all countries. So I think that the good Iranians are using this retaliation. They're using this retaliation basically to bomb Rothschild and cabal officers, companies and foundations. Now remember that we've got, I think it was 26 satanic places, right, around the world that of course need to be bombed. And the reason that they need to be bombed is because they've got bad vibes about them. Washington DC, of course, is one of them. The city of London, etc., etc. So the fact that Donald Trump has gone in with Israel and sort of preempted the attack on the Iranians, I then think that the good Iranians have then used that as a retaliation to bomb the cabal. Now, let's just say for the sake of an argument, let's just say that there's a fight between the good gang and the bad gang. Let's imagine for a second that Donald Trump has been swapped out. Whether or not that was in 1989 doesn't really matter. What about if Benjamin Netanyahu has been swapped out as well? Now, of course, don't forget that Iran also targeted Israel, and they also targeted specific infrastructure in Israel as well. Okay, very interesting. And then let's put that together as well, where Lloyd's of London, and it's still being reported on the mainstream. It's still being reported that obviously, there's massive problems in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, apparently, through the Strait of Hormuz, apparently somewhere in the region of about 80% oil and traffic and, drugs and all that shit goes through there. So what's happened there is the Lloyd's of London basically tried to shut off the Strait of Hormuz for all kinds of different reasons, trafficking, you know what I mean? And then, and what that's done is Donald Trump said, no, what we'll do is, right, we will ensure, not ensure, we will ensure your oil, and we will ensure your cargo so that you can continue to float, which is a massive slap in the face for, of course, not only Lloyd's of London, but the British colonial rule. So in real time, you are now seeing the destruction of the British colonial rule over the world, okay? And it's coming down rather rapidly. It's a lot quicker than what I thought it was that it was doing. A lot quicker. But anyway, now the also as well, there's another untold story that is happening, and this is a place called Stargate 10 in Iran. Now, you may or may not know, right? Okay, you may or may not know that there are Stargates around the world. Whether they allow you to go into different lands, or I don't fully know, but I do know that these Stargates can be used for all types of things. Now, apparently, this is one of the reasons why there's a massive fight over the control of Stargate 10. Now, apparently, Stargate 10 has been hijacked by dark forces for a long time, and Stargate 10 in Iran has is connected to the ley lines and to the energy centers of the earth. Now, if you don't know anything too much about energy and ley lines, it's not really important, but the earth is covered in a grid of ley lines. We know that these ley lines pass energy through the ley lines, and it transfers all around the world. Now, there are stories that back in the past, this energy was used, to create electricity from the ether and all that kind of thing. It's a completely new thing to most people, but it's really, really interesting. Now, I want to take you backwards, okay, to the 12th of the 12th, 2021. Now, I told you this story before, okay. I was particularly guided to go to a certain place in Wales, and a few weeks later, I picked up another person that wanted to that we went there with, and we did some energy work there. Okay, I at the time I didn't really realise the importance of it. However, now it's starting to make a lot of sense. So we were told not to tell anybody what we'd been doing, okay, in this energy portal for at least a year, okay, and then we got the all clear to say what we'd done. And basically what we did is we pulled in a lot of energy from the universe, and we anchored it down into what I can only describe as the Ark of the Covenant. That's how I understood it to be. That was anchored down into the Ark of the Covenant. And then I asked the question, what's going to happen now? So we were told that the energy would spread throughout the world, and it would, affect everything on the planet. Eventually, it would affect everything on the planet. And this is one of the interesting things that is happening with Stargate 10 in Iran. I think that energy is about to be completed. Now, once Stargate 10 is taken over by the good forces, what happens then is that energy rebounds back out again to the ley lines and spreads throughout the planet. What that does, that causes the energy of everybody to be completely changed and to be completely different. Okay, so it's going to affect your chakras, not only in yourself but also the chakras of the earth. It's going to affect your frequency. It's going to affect the way that you think. It's going to affect the way what you believe in, etc., etc. And this is where, in the Bible, it's written about the truth will set you free. So, as you well know, at the moment, we're all under this massive illusion, these massive sets of lies that are being, that are being rammed down your throat every single day. That's all going to change. That's all going to change. Once this Stargate 10 begins to open, then everything is going to change. And I wanted to quickly go back. To I spoke about this in regards to Iran. Now there was a headline that said, and this is from John, by the way. There was a headline that said that Iran is the 17th populated country in the world. It has 93 million people. Okay, so you might say, well, that's not really important. Well, actually, when we take the number 17 and then we take the number 93 in Iran, and then we think about the news about the Stargate 10 opening, okay, we can do a little bit of summarizing. So, 93 million people. If you turn that around, you get 63. Now, what is important about 63? Well, could that just happen to be the 6th of the 3rd? which is Friday. Friday, 6 p.m. could be a very dangerous time. It could be a very dangerous time. Remember, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. What could that possibly mean? Could that be an EBS maybe? 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or it might even be 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Nobody really knows. But when we look at the Q drops from 28, I think this was from 2018. It's basically interesting. Q drop 2187 tells us, okay, it says test. That's all it says. And then it says test by DOD, Department of Defense. Then it says free flow info. I wonder. So there you go. Okay. And for all those that weren't paying attention the other night, Fun Clips Gaming, okay, has set up a separate YouTube channel for the Fruit and Nut News. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be broadcasting on YouTube, okay? What it means is this, that Fun Clips Gaming has created a separate channel, okay, on YouTube, okay? You can go and watch anything that we do on Telegram. You can go and watch it on YouTube if you want to. That's entirely up to you. But all of the content will still be created on Telegram. Everything will be created here, and Fun Clips Gaming will continue to just put it over onto a specific YouTube channel. Okay, so you don't need to do anything. You don't need to sign anything. You don't need to, you can subscribe if you wanted to. Doesn't mean you got to pay, by the way. You can subscribe to, the YouTube channel like you would any other YouTube channel. Okay, you can do that if you want to. You can watch us over there if you want to. You can watch us over here. It's entirely up to you. But you don't have to do anything. So let's make that very, very clear. You don't have to do anything. Okay? Right. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just looking out the window thinking that it could possibly be still raining, but I'm not too sure. So anyway, it's time for the Kingsman to crack on. Anyway, listen, you have a great day. Enjoy yourself. We will see you all again. We will see you all again later on. And, of course, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So it looks like it's going to be a great day again. And then, of course, here we are, the weekend once again. So, Louis Loads, take care. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.